So this is Victor. I'm here with a new Curse City tutorial. This time we are going to paint one of these Vyrkos, and the color scheme I'm looking for is this one. It's not exactly the same that we have in the book. I went more for the purplish skin. I like it more with red armor. I think this is the look we are going to look for this one. Okay, so let's start painting. I left the column as they come with the column. I will do this as part of the painting. We have here some candles. So we are going to do everything, and we are going to start apply with contrast paints, because I think it's the since I have the contrast paints, I think it's for me the easiest way to start. And we are going to use Basilicanum Grey for the stones. I'm thinking that I'm already finishing my Basilicanum Grey and I will need to go for a new one. So we are going to try starting to be a little bit upset on these brushes that always need to find out. So we are going to apply quite thin. So you can see this is too thick. I want to go thinner. So I take some water if needed, but you want really to not to be too thick. Okay, because if not, it will look almost black. I don't want to go for a black. You want to go for a gray. Can be quite a dark gray if you like it, and later on we are going to do some dry brushing to make it lighter. Okay, but you want to avoid to go really black. Basilicanum Grey is a little bit dark, so this way I'm adding some water so I can spread it easily and I can make it lighter. Okay, so remember that you always can play with the contrast paints. If they are too dark, you always can play with solvent or with medium or with water to make them lighter and less opacifying. Okay. You always can also play with how much you spread the paint. Okay. You can see we'll give a nice gray to start. We are going to apply later on more colors to make this more interesting. We are going to play some browns and greens to make it look more natural. But first we apply this. We are going to wait that this dries and I will be back for the next step. Okay, so once the Basilicanum Grey have dried, we are going to do some dry brushing, starting with Administratum Grey. So I want to do first the pillar, and then we are going to do the miniature. Okay, so I'm going to apply the dry brushing. We're going to go as well over the as you can see, I don't dry it too much. I want some gray to stay. Okay, next I'm going to use Rakhart Flesh to do second layer. something like that. Okay, we have done this. Now we are going to work on the other details that we have on this base. So I'm going to use Wildwood. Wildwood or Zygor Brown, both will do the work. I'm going to use this one, Wildwood. And I'm going to do this type of this thing, I don't know how to describe it. And again, I try to go not too heavy. It has skull at the bottom. I would use the same Wildwood, for example, to cover this gap there. Something like that. And then I'm going to use Flayed One Flesh or Shakti Bone, any of these will do. Flayed One Flesh. And I will do the skull that is here at the bottom. And now I will need to wait that all this dries before I do the next step. Okay, once the previous layers have dried, now we are going to use Agrax Earthshade and we are going to do a wash over the pillar, skull and almost the full base. Okay, we take Agrax Earthshade and we just wash everything. It will give a darker tone to the stone. Okay. We will need to wait again that this dries before doing any further step. Don't forget, well, this stone I do it, but this stone I put myself, so this is not coming with a miniature, just to build on the decoration that we already have. But I will go as well over this branch or that plant, and I will also go over the skull. Okay, and if you have texturized the base, sorry, I will also go over this to give all this dark tone everywhere. And again, we need to wait that this dries before I do any further step, because I want to first finalize all the base, and then we start painting the actual guy. Okay, here you want to limit a little bit. I will try to avoid that it's pulling too much. Okay. And like that should be good enough. Here a little bit more. I just want to be sure that the crevices and the texture is well visible. And I think like that is okay. So I waited this device and I'm back for the next step. Okay, so this is how it looks like now. And next step, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use Gauss Blaster Green. Okay, this color. And we're going to do like some moss lichens effect. So we take a little bit, we take it quite thin, and I will go on some of the crevices. In the parts where naturally the moss and the humidity will accumulate, then there will be some greenish effects. Okay. We have it there. We can add a little bit on these ones. You don't want to put too much, to be fair, but I like to put here and there a little bit. If you put too much, you come with water, and we just thin down. I like to put a little bit of this. This will make the rock or this pillar to look more interesting. Okay, again I take water, because the water will naturally put this on the crevice. On top, when the water is drying, it will lose intensity. Okay, so we don't want it to be excessively intense. You can play with other colors if you want. You can use even light grays. I don't want to use too much light grays neither, because it will can look weird. But I like to put it here and there. Of course, the one on the ground will also have some of these greenish things. And if you think it's too intense, always you can take some water and pull out a little bit. I think like that. We can put a little bit more here. Like that will be okay. Okay. I didn't put too much where we have the candles. The candles I will do them in black wax. Okay, I will do black candles. So I'm going to paint them in black first. Okay, I'm using Corvus Black. Okay. Now I'm going to take this orange, first layer orange. We're going to put it all here, and we're going to put it well on the rock. Like that. You want to put it all around. We will do the same on the other one. This one I will make it a little bit less intense, for example. Now we take a yellow, Flashgate yellow will do the work. And we are going to apply some yellow there. Okay, and now I come back with orange and I will clean up a little bit where I put too much yellow, like that. Anything like that, we have the effect of the flames. Now we can go to the real guy, okay? And we're going to start using a contrast paint. Again, I'm still using, I know that new ones are coming, but I'm going to apply Apothecary white over the skin. I have to say that contrast for me have been a very interesting tool, and I like a lot to use it. So I'm going to put Apothecary white all over the skin. And then we wait that all this dries before doing the next step. Okay? I'm not concerned that we have some shade caused by already by the priming. As you will see, the bars looking down are a little bit darker. This is not a problem, because this will create additional shade that I don't dislike. Okay, you can see I tried not to accumulate too much of it, and I will go, as you have seen at the beginning of the video, for a purplish white. Okay, so I'm not only going for ivory, I'm going more for a purplish. I think purplish will make more sense on a vampire. Okay, let's look here at the back. As you can see, I tried to put some, but without exaggerating too much. I highly recommend Apothecary white. I don't know if they will change now with the new range of paints, but I think Apothecary white, it's a great paint to do white and to do very light gray or this type of very light skin. Okay, so as you can see, I try to spread it. I'm looking around that is not pulling anywhere, that we don't have too much paint in any part of the miniature, and then we need to wait that this is fully dry before doing any further step. Okay, so I'm going to finalize this under this arm, and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step, I'm going to use this contrast paint, contrast Magus Purple, and we are going to do a glaze over the skin, okay, to give a purplish tonality. So we are going to take it, we are going to thin it down, put not too much, and just the intention is to give a very soft glaze, to give a little bit of purplish shading and filter to the skin. Okay, So I'm just thinning down with water, and you can go heavier on if you want in some parts. If you want to go especially the scarf, for example, if you want to give a little bit more of purple tonality. This will give a little bit of, yeah, I like it. I like the combination, and I think will enhance the vampiric look of this creature. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking some paint with my brush. I be sure that I don't have too much paint on my brush. Then I just apply and I spread it over to ensure that I want this purplish tint, but I don't want to be completely purple, right? So I'm going to do this all over the skin. You can see already how it's looking like. And then I weighted this device before doing any further step. Okay, so here I went. If you put too much, because you just spread it nicely. And this will work. Okay, so I will end this leg and I'm back for the next step. Okay, this how looks like now with the purple tint. Now I'm going to use Gore Brown, Gore Grunta, sorry, Gore Grunta. We are going to apply this on the fur. We'll do it everywhere except the crest. So we are going to do that like that. I just take it out here. As you can see that this will give very nice shading with just one layer. Okay, and with that we are going to do all the different fur we have around. Okay, so I'm going to do this and I'm back for the next step. Next I'm going to use Fleshtearers contrast paint and we are going to do the armor plate. I'm trying to leave the decoration unpainted because I will do the decoration that we have on the armor plate in black. But the shoulder pad I will do it completely in red. Like that. So I finalize the armor plate and I'm back. Next I'm going to use Rhinox Hide and we are going to do the handle of the sword. Like that. And now we're going to use a paint that I bought from Scale 7, from Scale, no, sorry, from Green Stuff Wool, that is called Chrome Metal, and we are going to apply this on the blade of the sword. Need very little, and I highly recommend this one, but don't use your best brush to apply it. Just, you will see that it's very glossy, bright, very metallic, very reflectant. This is the right word. Okay, give a very real metal finishing. It's really chrome. In that case, I want to go for very sharp and threatening swords for these guys. You can see more. Okay, I weighted this device, and now you need to use alcohol to dry this. So I weighted this device and I'm back. Okay, next I'm going to use Black Templar. You can see the metallic. Okay, and now we are going to use Black Templar on the crest, belts, and mainly these parts. Okay, so we're going to put here Black Templar. I try to put a little bit less paint, so we can take. If you put too much contrast, you're losing the benefit of the contrast. This to have this pre-shading, right? So you don't want to put too much, especially for example this is too much. I will remove some, because you want really to have this pre-shading on the hair. Okay, so we're going to do this. And then I will do as well the belt, that is, and I will do the decoration on the armor. We'll change brush. Okay. And again, we apply this and we with this device we are going to be ready to start doing the highlights. We are going to start with the highlights on the skin, and we are going to start working on that. Okay, So I'm going to do here the bell where it's not almost visible. I'm also doing here this type of lion decoration, or wolf, I guess it's a wolf. Okay, I'm doing that and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step we are going to work on the detail on the skin, and first I'm going to do, before starting with the detail of the skin, I'm going to do the face, okay? So I'm going to start with white, and I'm going to apply white inside the eye. Okay, scar white. I mean, any white will do, right? You don't need. So I'm doing it like that. And I will do the same on the other eye. Like that. And now I'm going to do the teeth, the fangs. Like that. Okay. Next, I'm going to use Genestealer Purple, okay, to do some shades around the eye, especially the bottom. But and I will start with this one. Something like that. And I will go in the scar as well. Like that. Okay. Before on the other eye, before doing the shade, I will use Corvus Black, sorry. And I will add the black in the middle of the eye, right? Like that. You want that it goes. You don't do just a dot, you do more like a line that goes from the top to the bottom of the eye. That is thicker in the middle, and then I will use the purple to add some shading. Because this will help to give the sensation of sick. Now I'm going to use the Dechala Lilac, this color, and we are going to shade here. Okay. Now it's time to start working with this color, Greyseer. This one, I already have it on my tablet, and white to start doing the highlights. And I will use as well, if needed, the Dechala Lilac or Genestealer Purple if I need deeper shades. But I start with Greyseer, And what we're going to do first is to highlight with this almost white gray. That will look white here on the miniature because the rest is a little bit darker, so we'll do the cheeks. Then I will do as well on the head. And the jaw. And there I will add some Dechala Lilac. I will do the same on the other side. To increase a little bit the shade. And now it's time to use white. As well on the cheek. On the chin you also want to do. So just these parts that are more visible. Now we can do the musculature, for example. Start working on the musculature. Let's do this arm. So I will start always with Greyseer. Because I want to look pale. And we're going to do the neck. And there, in the inner of the, I will take a little bit of Genestealer Purple here, and I will, I can see what like this, and now I take Genestealer Purple. To exaggerate the sick look of this guy. Now I'm going to use the Dechala Lilac. A little bit of Genestealer here. Greyseer to do this. And now I will keep working on the arm. And what you want to do after applying the Greyseer is to make a second highlight. we are going to use Corvus Black to help us on the transition and to make them less stark. Okay, I will do like that the rest of the skin, and I'm back. Okay, so this color looks like the skin now. The next step, I'm going to do the fur, and I'm going to highlight it with XV88 to just to give a different tonality and make the fur a little bit different. I'm going to go most likely line by line, or hair by hair, I have to say. Highlighting it. Like that. We're going to do them as well, the one here on the front. You don't need to do all the hairs, just some of them. Okay, we'll wait at this device. Next step, I'm going to work on the red of the armor. And I'm going to use for that Mephiston Red. Okay, this one. This is the one that is in bad shape. You don't need to match. I'm going to use Wild Rider Red as well. Okay. Here. And I'm going to take as well this one 12 layer orange, just in case you need to do a higher highlight. This is going to be quite fast because there is not much armor, to be fair. So I'm going to start with Mephiston Red. Doing like that. So it's edge highlighting, but basically. Here I do a little bit more. Now I'm going to take the Scarlet, not the Scarlet, sorry, the, what's it called, the Wild Red. We're going to use some accents, some extra highlights. And if you go too thick, you take just Mephiston Red. You reduce intensity. Take into account that it looks brighter at the beginning, but when it dries, it will look more red and less orange. I'm doing it like that. No, I'm going to apply like that. I'm going to apply now Mephiston. And I will just put the orange where I need some of these spikes, but you don't want to put too much of this one. Okay, let's work on the black, sorry. And I'm going to use 3 grays. Okay, I'm going to use Ashen Grey, I'm going to have Administratum Grey and Dawnstone. Okay, so this Dawnstone, I go Ashen Grey, Dawnstone, and finally Administratum. Okay, and with these 3 colors we are going to highlight the black. So on the hair first, I will do very soft dry brushing directly with Dawnstone. It's too harsh. Looking for a soft brush. Okay, let's take some Dawnstone. We do like that. This is very soft, just to see the where the is popping up. Okay, and now I'm going to take directly with a thin brush. I need to put some water now. I'm going to use directly Dawnstone, and this one here I will put directly Dawnstone, and then at the top some Administratum. And then we soften, going with Dawnstone on top. Then here on this hair that we already did the dry brushing. Now I will pick up some of them and I will make them more visible, applying Dawnstone. And now I will take Administratum and apply just on these ones that are more popping up, more out. And now I will do the other side. This side is a little bit more tricky because yeah, it's more hidden. Like that. And the next step, I'm going to use now Ashen Grey first to highlight some of this. Ashen Grey will not be almost visible on top of black. It's a very dark grey, but I like to use it before. Playing the other colors. In this case, the hair I didn't apply because it was not making sense. I will have as well Corvus Black, sorry, in case I need to do some corrections. And now we take Dawnstone. We do like that. And for the rivets that we have there, I'm going to use nails. I'm going to use Administratum, but then for the edge highlight I will keep using Dawnstone. Okay, and we're going to do the same, the one at the front. Like that. Okay. I think I don't, at this moment is okay. Maybe I will put a little bit of Administratum. Like that. Now I'm going to take Agrax Earthshade and I'm going to wash again the fur to increase the depth of the shades. This is a very texturized surface. We should not have problems to have a clean wash. And I'm going to use a gloss varnish, non-oil gloss, and apply it very lightly on the sword. I'm using gloss because although we got the shade, it will also help to keep this chrome looking metallic. Okay. Now I'm going to do one thing that I was forgetting, that is the nails. And on the nails it's going to be very easy. We take Dawnstone and we just put like that, a touch of Dawnstone to add a little bit more content. These are too small, to be fair, the ones that they can. Okay. And like that we have this miniature done. So here I will finalize the tutorial. Okay, I hope you have liked it. Please give a like if you have liked the tutorial, share if you think other people can be interested. I hope you enjoy it, and as usual, thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.